What if I told you that lawmakers in Washington are floating a plan that would send every single American $1,000 a month? No restrictions. Not just seniors. Not just low-income households. Literally everyone. Sounds incredible, right? But here's the kicker: you need to hear what's hidden inside the fine print. Because the real twist changes the way we think about Social Security, retirement planning, and the future of work. Stick with me until the end, because I guarantee you'll walk away looking at this debate in a whole new light. But first, do me a favor, drop a quick comment below with your age and the state you live in. I love seeing the range of people thinking about retirement and financial security, and it helps me tailor these conversations. After 25 years of helping Americans retire smarter, one thing I've learned is this: where you live and your stage of life make all the difference when planning your future. The first thing we need to understand is that this so-called Social Security for All plan is a bit of a marketing trick. It's not Social Security. Traditional Social Security is something you've earned by paying into the system through payroll taxes for decades. It's a contract between you and the government: work, contribute, then collect benefits. What's being proposed now is actually a version of Universal Basic Income, UBI. But calling it Social Security makes it sound safer, more trustworthy, and more familiar. It blurs the lines and creates confusion. Retirees who spent a lifetime contributing feel misled, while younger people may start expecting benefits that don't exist. The honest fix? Call it what it really is: UBI, or guaranteed income. Names matter because names shape public trust. This might sound revolutionary, but the idea has been around for years. In 2019, Stockton, California tested a pilot program where a group of residents received $500 a month, no strings attached. Dozens of other cities followed with their own versions. The results? Families were able to pay off debt, buy groceries, and stabilize their finances. On a local scale, it looked promising. But take that idea nationwide, and the math explodes. Giving $1,000 a month to every American adult adds up to trillions of dollars every year. Supporters argue it's a bold way to fight poverty. Critics say it would skyrocket deficits and fuel inflation. Either way, the stakes are massive. Here's where the conversation gets tricky. On paper, giving everyone the same $1,000 sounds simple. No applications. No red tape. Everyone's equal. But does Jeff Bezos need another $1,000? Does a family pulling in $300,000 a year deserve the same check as a widow in Ohio living off one $1,200 Social Security payment? Of course not. Yet under UBI, everyone gets the same. That makes it easy to run, but terrible at targeting those who truly need support. And that's how you end up with taxpayer backlash, when people feel they're funding millionaires to get free money. The smarter approach? A guaranteed income program based on need, not blanket handouts. That way, struggling families and retirees get help, while wealthier households don't see a windfall they'll never notice. Some economists suggest a different path called a negative income tax. Here's how it works. Imagine the government sets a target income, say $75,000 per household. If your family earns less than that, the government sends you payments to close the gap. If you earn more, nothing changes, you just keep paying taxes. For example, a couple making $50,000 a year would get $25,000 in payments across the year, about $2,000 a month, to bring them up to $75,000. This approach targets relief where it's needed most, without handing out checks to billionaires. It's simpler, fairer, and less likely to spark political outrage. Here's the part retirees really need to think about. If a nationwide guaranteed income program launches, Congress will face enormous pressure to merge or cut other benefits in the name of simplifying the system. That could mean traditional Social Security or Medicare gets reshaped or even reduced. On paper, it sounds efficient. In reality, it risks undermining the earned benefits retirees have counted on for decades. This could become the political battle line of the next 10 years. Do we protect existing programs while adding new ones, or do lawmakers try to combine them, leaving retirees worse off? Let's talk about the elephant in the room: inflation. If the government starts pumping hundreds of billions of dollars into the economy every month, what happens? prices rise. More money chasing the same groceries, housing, and medical care means higher costs. For seniors on fixed incomes, this is devastating. Imagine rent, food, and prescriptions climbing 10 to 15% in just a year. Suddenly, that $1,000 check doesn't feel like extra help. It feels like running faster on a treadmill, just to stay in place. Some economists argue payments could be phased in only during recessions or offset by tax changes. But so far, no politician has offered a clear solution to prevent inflation from eating away retirees' buying power. Here's another danger: stability. Social Security has lasted since the 1930s because it's earned and universal. You pay in, you get out. Politicians don't dare touch it. UBI has no such legacy. One Congress could approve it, and the next could slash it to save money. That means retirees might start planning around an extra $1,000 a month, only to see it vanish after the next election cycle. That level of uncertainty makes real retirement planning nearly impossible. One overlooked issue is how UBI impacts the workforce. Some versions of the plan give everyone payments regardless of income or effort. For some, that stability helps them get back on their feet. But studies also show others drop out of the workforce entirely. For retirees, this is more than a political debate. Fewer workers means fewer payroll taxes going into the Social Security Trust Fund. And that directly weakens the program you rely on. It's a domino effect that doesn't get nearly enough attention. Here's the twist nobody is prepared for. Artificial intelligence, automation, self-checkout machines, driverless trucks, these aren't someday problems. They're already here. Every year, millions of jobs that once supported working families are being replaced by machines. And with fewer people paying payroll taxes, Social Security's funding crisis hits sooner than expected. That's why talk of guaranteed income is heating up now. It's not just generosity. It's survival in a world where work itself is disappearing. For retirees, that means two big things. If fewer workers are paying in, politicians will eventually need to raise retirement ages, cut benefits, or invent new funding models. UBI or negative income tax programs won't just be political talking points. They'll become economic necessities. But if these programs roll out too fast, without safeguards, retirees could get caught in the crossfire of budget cuts, inflation spikes, and policy reversals. This is the nightmare scenario and the reason you can't afford to ignore these debates. If you're retired or planning for retirement, the smartest thing you can do is stay informed. Understand the difference between earned benefits and new experimental programs. Watch how Congress talks about funding sources. Because once payroll taxes can't cover promises, something will have to give. Too many people build retirement plans assuming laws will never change. But I've seen it time and again, laws do change, and they will. If you found this breakdown helpful, stick with me. I post real-world retirement updates, no scare tactics, no hype, just the truth as it unfolds. So hit subscribe, share this with a friend who needs to hear it, and let's keep navigating retirement smarter together.